Rise and shine, family. All right, listen, I need your attention. I need you guys to watch this as this man confesses, literally confesses to beating on his son. And he does it with such a joy, okay? Now, before I tap into his mistreatment of his son, his future self, okay? I want to tap into why he did this. So he literally brought up his son as an example to warn another grown man on what happens if you cross him. This goes into him openly admitting to beating on his son. Listen at this, family.
I'm like, no. She's like, yeah, he got all kind of gangs up in here and woo, right? I said, no, I ain't gave him no money, Ma. Where'd he get money from? She like, I don't know. I said, Ma, go downstairs and look under my computer. Let me see if my money under my computer. Lo and behold, my money gone. Life is full of decisions, right? Now why would you want to fuck with daddy money? That was daddy car money. He had to get his car fixed with that, right? All right, let's move forward in this story. So I had to teach son a lesson, right? So son, you know, he had the man up that day. Boop, 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 boop. He felt the boop, boop, boops and the boop, 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 boops, right? Yeah, stand up, son. Yeah, stand up. You wanna take from me? Take just boop, 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 boop. Take all of that, huh? Take one of these two, right? Now, later on, you know, son done took some boop, boop, boops, some real manly, some real daddy, some real steal from your daddy, some real steal from your daddy for no reason. Boop, boop, boops. He had to deal with them consequences, right? So later on, he goes to sleep, right? He goes to sleep, and I see him in there sleep, and he's sleeping so peacefully after getting all of them boop, boop, boops, right? Because he made a decision to fuck with his daddy, right? He made a decision. That little boy made a decision to fuck with a grown man. And I mean, there was consequences that came with that decision, right? So he's in there just sleeping, like he's so peacefully sleeping. Yeah. And I so peacefully go in there and I boop, 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 boop. Get your ass up, nigga. Take these boop, boop, boops out of nowhere, nigga. Because what I want to show you, son, is there's consequences with your decisions, right? See, when you go to jail, nigga, when you go to jail from stealing for the next nigga, huh? Yeah, when you close your eyes, you can't fully close your eyes in there, nigga. Yeah, because soon as you close your eyes, somebody coming in there, just like I just did while you was asleep, nigga, and then bushing you over the head with soap, nigga, tearing up your stomach, nigga, fucking you up in that cell, nigga. Yeah, that's how it go down. See, them decisions you made to steal from your daddy, nigga, it'll land you in a place behind bars, nigga. So you might want to, listen to me, get your act together, nigga. Y'all see me conveying this message again to this loudmouth barking ass nigga in this community? This ain't gonna take long. This ain't gonna take long. I need, so I'm conveying this message to you, Sparkles. Leave me alone. I told you. Leave me alone.
All right, family. So a lot of you guys may have been raised by a narcissist with delusions of grandeur, and you may have not known. But I want to call this out because it needs our focus, family. People who punish their children like this do so in such a braggy way because they actually don't see that it's wrong. This is likely how they were raised. And all they're doing is further damaging their child. They think that they're disciplining their children, but what they're doing is actually just abusing them. See, it's a big difference in between abuse and discipline, okay? Discipline are the steps that you take in order to correct something. Discipline is the steps that you take in order to get better, okay? Discipline is not beating your children whenever they make a mistake. Do you understand? So he says that when his son stole his money, he beats his son to the ground. Notice how he says, boop, 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 boots, boots, boots. Sounds like he's putting feet on his son, right? Then he says, get up, son. And then he beats him down again. His words, right? Now, later on that day, he said his son is tired, okay, from getting the boots. And he goes back into the room and beats his son out of his sleep. Now, for all of you guys who operate like this with your children, I want to express something to you. You're not actually helping. Whenever you say you stole from your daddy, when you say, you stole from me, all that you're doing is evoking your ego inside of this mistake that your child made. Absolutely, it's a problematic characteristic and you need to address it. But when you say you stole from your daddy, you stole from me, so I got to teach you what let's know they stole. They stole. Had that been me, my son would have learned a tough lesson that day on how difficult it is to make money. Because I would have had him working until he made every bit of that money back and more. See, what this would have done is taught him, number one, not to steal. It would have taught him the value of money. And when he made the money, I would have took it from him. All this time that you worked this money back was only to pay me back. You don't even get the money that you for your labor that you put in. But I want him to understand discipline and what it takes to earn money. So he's never in that situation to want money so badly that he takes it from somebody else. See, whenever your children make a mistake, family, whenever they fail you, whenever they fail themselves, our job as parents are to re-straighten them, not beat them to a pulp and traumatize them even further, creating generational curses in our children. And we do so with this logic that, hey, it happened to me, I'm gonna do it to my children. You hear his logic? His narcissistic logic? When you go to jail from stealing from the next N-word, talking to his own son now, this is how they're gonna treat you. You'll have to sleep with your eyes open. They'll come in your room just like this and boop, 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 right in the middle of your sleep. This is how he's raising his son to be a better man, family. And look at how he professes this to the entire world as if it's okay. As if it's the right thing to do, just living in his gangster. Uses this situation as an example to threaten another man. Oh, the time that your son stole from you, you beat him to a pulp, so that's what's gonna be waiting for me if I cross you too. He still doesn't see the harm that he's done to his son. People like this do this type of harm to their children, more harm than they think they're doing. Again, grandiose ideas. They think that they are helping their child be better, but actually what they're doing is they're hurting their child. You understand? Now, a lot of you guys share similar stories like this happened to you when you were growing up. Okay, your parents might have beat you or put you through some type of, like, they over punish you for something that you did, and you say, well, this is how I was raised. My grandma, my grandpa, my parents was making sure that I didn't do this in the world, and this is why kids are bad today. I want you to consider something. This is why kids are traumatized today. This is why children act just like y'all act towards them. Whenever they're angry, the first thing they think about is violence, hitting somebody, not handling any situation with tact. Okay? This is not right, family. It's not right at all. You're supposed to raise your children better than this. You're not supposed to beat them to a pulp every time they make a mistake. Absolutely, you don't want your children stealing. But when they steal, this is how you address it. You beat them up 3 times. 1 time wasn't good enough, huh? Hitting them once wasn't good enough. You had to give them a whole full-grown man beat down, right? Then tell them to get back up so you can do it again. At some point, you're catering to your own ego, and your child is having to pay for it. It goes beyond what you call in discipline. It goes right over into abuse. And then you justify it with, I'm beating you again because of this. No, you've already beat him twice. And now he's in there sleeping and you go in there and beat him again. For those of you who practice like this, who raise your children like this and can't see that it's wrong, let me point it out for you. You've already physically abused them by beating on them with your hands, okay, and feet, and over again, and fighting them like an adult. Now, number 2, your explanation of it is verbal abuse. You say things like, when you go to jail, this is how they're gonna treat you in jail, and then give them more punishment on top of that. It's just a justification, but your justification is even more abuse, psychological abuse. These type of abuses don't just go away, family. Your child will sit here and play that back in their mind that their parent told them when they go to jail. Literally told them they would go to jail. And this is how your children become exactly what you speak. You have the power of life and death over your tongue, but you choose to speak death over your child. Right as you physically beating them, you speak death over them. And then you wonder why they can't get it together. You wonder why they can't amount to your standards, because you keeping them beat down. It's literally unreal, family. And these same people who do these type of acts, they don't feel sorry for it. They actually believe that they're correct, which makes them even more dangerous, because they're not going to correct the issue. They actually boast about it as if it was the right thing to do. This is how their mind works. Your children make you mad, beat the crap out of them, and that's all they know, family. They're not going to raise their children to be better by doing this. If you were raised by individuals like this, family, please comment on here what that done to you and how much you have to relive this, so people who put their children through this thinking it's right can understand that it's in fact not right at all. All you're doing is abusing your children and justifying it, using horrible justifications to make it right, and you're not making it right. And you're not teaching your children, you're not raising your children. You're only there as a weapon towards your children. You're just beating them. Discipline is what you would have taught your son and how to make money so he wouldn't have to steal it. That's what discipline is. If you're going to discipline your child, you're going to teach them about money. You're going to teach them how to manage money, how to make money, and how important it is not to take from somebody else, not to take someone else's belongings, and how hard they must work, how hard they worked to come up with that money. Do you understand? In working to do that, he would understand how hard it is to come up with money, and you don't just take it. But he didn't steal from his daddy. He didn't go in there and say, I'm gonna cross my daddy. He was enticed by what he saw sitting on that table, if that's what happened. I know this man personally, y'all. This ain't the first time. This is how he deals with his sons, okay? He has an older son that he fights too. They be coming in close. This man does not know how to raise his children. We in these communities, when we see these type of things, family, we need to zero in on them, because that type of crap needs to be out of our communities if we're truly going to break generational curses and see our families healed and see our communities in a better place. That can't be in our communities, family. If you want to set an example for your children, how about live how you want them to live? How about be how you want them to be? Literally set the example. Don't just be behind them with punches every time they make a mistake. You want to be an example for your children. How about you stop doing things that have you ended up in jail all the time? How about you take a productive approach to raising your children by setting the example, by being the man that you're raising them to be? Because while you're talking all of that crap to your children and beating the crap out of them, what they're learning is exactly what you're saying and doing. They're going to copy what you're saying and doing. And how you raise them is how they're likely going to raise theirs if they don't undo the crap you're doing. So when you think you're teaching an example by talking, don't do this, they'll do what I say, not what I do, you're wrong. They're going to do what you do. They're going to say what you say. That's how children learn from you. So while you're sitting here blabbering about what's right and what's wrong, know that they're watching your actions and they're going to duplicate your actions. So you're not making them better by talking, by threatening. You can only make them better whenever you are accountable to the exact standard that you're trying to hold them to. Be a man. That's how you be a man. You don't be a man by beating on your chest and beating the hell out your son. He's 14. How's that something to brag about? You're a grown man. How is that something to brag about? But I grew up around people that acted just like this, family. Beat the shit out of their children and then brag about it to their friends and peers like it actually makes them better. They take this self-righteous approach like they know exactly how to raise children. But actually they don't. You understand? Family, we need to confront these issues, zero in on them, just like I said, so we can make sure that we eradicate this behavior in our communities, family, wherever we see it. Peace.